Hello, my name is Matt. Welcome to Unbearable 73. So I recently been trying to catch up on some more modern anime. I tend to watch older ones, and I figured, there's got to be some new stuff out there. Let me see what's going on. One of those that caught my eye was Parasyte the Maxim. So I'm doing a review of season one, the only season produced. Note I've never read the manga, though I plan on it based on watching the anime. You'll hear my comments below. This is just a quick general impression of sort of review of the season, not intended to be just a breakdown, and it's going to be light on spoilers. What is Parasyte the Maxim? Parasyte was a manga series published for several years back from 1988 to 1995. It was written and illustrated by Hitoshi Iwaki. Looking over his other work, the only thing most familiar to me is Neo Devilman, so this is probably my first exposure to anything he's ever written. The manga sold over 25 million copies to date. Can add one to that because I ordered it. I ordered the first volume. The anime aired from 2014 through March 2015 and consists of 24 episodes. It was called Parasyte the Maxim. This anime is centered on a 17-year-old high school student named Shinanichi living with his parents in Fukuyama, Hiroshima, Japan. One night, microscopic worm-like aliens came to the Earth. They enter their host via their ear canal, like the parasite in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Then they take over the host's brain, erasing the host in the process. In Shinanichi's case, his parasite failed to enter his brain through his ear and instead bored into his arm, taking over his hand, which you see on the screen in front of you, the picture of Shinichi with his parasite Migi as his hand. So thus Shinichi was still alive and he had a parasite attached. This led to a case where a parasite human had to partner up to defend against themselves with other humans and other parasites. They had to defend against humans because the parasites who taken over humans decided that they need to eat other humans to survive, which is something that proves to be false. It's just a choice they made. And that they're defending against parasites due to the combination of other parasites attacking and killing Shinichi's family and friends, including his mother and his first romantic interest in the show, and those four parasites deciding Shinichi and Migi are a threat. The show is a combination of shonen action horror and philosophical musings about evolution, survival and its cost, the meaning of being human, environmental issues, morals, and so on. First, I'll review the production. Animation quality is very good. I'd rate it 8 to 9 out of 10. The artwork flowed very well and conveyed the story and the characters' abilities. The sound score quality was good, maybe a 9 out of 10. I think I just jumbled that up, so I said the sound, the score, and the audio quality were also good, maybe a 9 out of 10. Kind of immersive. I don't know what the music didn't stand out greatly, but it kind of, would fit the story and made you want to pay a little more attention to it. Well, the voice acting was overall good. The English voice actor who plays Shinichi, who was our main character, his name is Adam Gibbs, and he did not impress me with this. I know Mr. Gibbs is an accomplished voice actor, and I've heard him other anime and liked him there. But the voice he chose for Shinichi makes him sound kind of like constipated or like always has his muscles tense, he's grunting all the time, like when he's talking, half grunting. And to me, it was very annoying and unappealing the way it sounded. This caused me not to like Shinichi very much, and for an anime protagonist in this sort of show, that's a killer. I found myself, even though I've liked the overall plot and the metaphysical issues explored, anytime Shinichi spoke, it made me feel forced into watching it. So now for the plot and the execution part. I've never read the manga, so I don't know if the anime had a tight plot directly based on the manga, or if it's sort of a loose implementation of it. That being said, I found issues with the plotting, pacing, and execution. The pacing of this series was very stunted. There were points where it flowed well, and other points were sort of dragged and meanders, as if they didn't know how to implement this plot, or they wanted to drag out the season. Like maybe they only had 20 episodes of story, but then order for 24 episodes, so kind of like just meander, not go directly to the point, that it stretched things out. Regarding the characters, as I mentioned earlier, Shinichi, the actor who plays Shinichi, the voice just made me really not like. We'll get into that character. And the final girlfriend as a character comes across as a bit whiny. The most compelling character were two parasites. Migi, who's Shinichi's parasite partner, who you see in Shinichi's hand there, and Reiko Tamura, who played a parasite driven by science towards self-understanding, who as she takes over a human, she gets impregnated and carries a human baby to term. She also makes a very interesting and human choice with regards to the infant, who started as a clinical study. I would have been more interested in Rico as the primary character in the series than Shinichi. The villains, other than Rico, were just more of the same, with ever more powerful parasites and a series of more powerful bosses. Now, onto the sort of metaphysics, the sort of philosophical concepts that should be at play. This is the most interesting aspect of the series to me. The anime implementation makes me want to read the manga series to see if the issues present in the anime, which bother me, with the cause of my dissatisfaction. So what I mean is it like, is all of my dislike for Shinichi solely based on the voice actor's choice of type of voice? The metaphysical issues also tend to be explored via the actions and story, except when Rico was on screen. So in other words, when an anime besides Rico was on screen, it was just through the fights or through how interactions occurred or choices characters made. But when Rico was on screen, we experienced some of her thoughts and actions, and as she explored these issues more directly, as she questioned things about what the baby meant to her multiple times during the lifetime of the story, and so forth. As she questioned Shinichi and Migo's relationship, for example, the parasite's relationship with humanity. So what were some of these issues? I just mentioned some. The nature of being human, and that Rico goes on a whole journey in regard to our character arc. The concept of predator and prey and the ethics of it. Should humans, due to sapiens, be exempt from having natural predators? Is the predation of one sapient species on another ethical in any way? The nature of motherhood is a more biological imperative with regard to a mother's feelings and devotion to her child, or is a choice? Again, Rico explores that completely. Are humans parasites too? As I mentioned, this is by far the most interesting aspect of the series. Honestly, however, I felt that this aspect got a bit lost in the melodrama issues mentioned above. So now for my 5 questions, I will post the first one on the screen so you can see it. At its conclusion, does this season make me wish that I had more to watch, or does it make me wish that I had been shorter and wasted my time? I almost wish the series had been shorter, but not so much that we didn't see the ending that we got. In other words, the end of the season/series and the major points of getting there, I was okay with. As I said before, I thought it was padded out too much, and the pacing was crappy. So it was like you felt choppy getting there. I couldn't make myself watch more than 3 episodes of the show at a time, whereas some anime I can watch 6, 7, 8 in a row at a time. Like I said, some of these circular subplots that were nowhere should have been excised out. Like there was one with a private detective that seemed like it was going someplace, but turned out to go nowhere, and it might as well have not occurred because it didn't change anything in the story. Do I hate the portrayal of the primary characters? Well, if you consider Shinichi the main character, yeah, I kind of hate him because I hated the voice actor. I hated the role the voice actor chose to play him with. So it's obviously some pacing issues. So I'm sorry, I just skipped my question. So I answered the second one, which you'll see here. Sorry about that. Do I hate the portrayal of the primary characters? Boom, yeah, answer that. So the third question then is, did the show annoy with moronic camera gimmicks, like camera techniques that constantly cut away from the action, or filming action sequences so close that you can't see what's going on, and so forth? For an anime, that means not drawing combat very well for the most part, or power-ups. Really, the only thing in the animation was pacing issues. That was it. Number 4. Is this show preaching at me, meaning is it telling me I need to change something up as its actual plot? It's just slightly over the top of some of the metaphysical issues, but not in a bothersome way. Just in a way that sounds like sometimes people will talk about certain issues and they'd rather sound intelligent than be intelligent, if you get what I mean. And then the last one, it's pretty obvious here. Are there any deal breaker moments, like anything weird that happens that breaks my suspension of disbelief? And no, it's an anime. Weird stuff happens all the time. Otherwise, it would be anime. So my final thoughts: should you watch this series? No. If you're compelled to give it a try, you're gonna have to. The best way to get through is to make yourself watch it in like 3 or 4 episode chunks, so you don't have to spend, more than that. I'd give it a 5 out of 10, maybe a 4 out of 10. However, I do want to read the manga. I've already ordered the first issue. I probably will do a review of that to see if the annoyances are just purely in the anime version of it and the story itself is compelling. Because everything I read said the story is very compelling, for sure, in the manga. So we'll see. So there's that kind of, so I can't recommend the manga because I haven't read it yet, but I can say that it's this, having seen the series, though I can't recommend that you watch the series unless unless you really want to go through the stuff I did. But I will be back with the manga. So comment down below if you please, or you don't. Or if you have any questions, give me some comments or so forth. Share this video if you will. Like if you like. Dislike if you dislike. Subscribe if you want to hear more from me. My name is Matt. This has been Unbearable 73. Have a nice day, and I am out of here.